Every race has that best moment that everyone searches for on YouTube, like the time Hamilton crossed the finish line on 3 wheels, or when this Mercedes flew into history. We've compiled for you 30 of the most incredible moments in the history of motorsports. But first, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, and you'll have as many years of good luck as there are Fast and Furious movies. During the 2013 British Grand Prix, there was a real drama with tires. 5 different drivers had a rear wheel blow up. The first was the race leader, Lewis Hamilton. His tire ruptured at 193 kilometers per hour, and he had to drive almost an entire lap to get to the pit stop. Felipe Massa's tire exploded next, which sent him off the track. This could have been considered a coincidence, until Jean-Eric Vergne's tire exploded at a speed of 300 kilometers per hour. After him, Sergio Perez lost a wheel, and so did another driver. I bet the F1 tire suppliers love watching a race like this. Now this is what I call overtaking. Simon Hodge's Formula Ford leaps into the air and flies over his opponent. You know who's cooler than Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious? Cruz Pedregon, whose funny car rose up on its rear wheels at 350 kilometers per hour, forcing him to drive in a wheel stand through the finish line. It's as if a transformer forgot that he had a human driver and almost transformed. Oliver Söderström cut off Robin Brezina and they both flew into the gravel. But then they continued the race against each other on foot. The furious Brezina immediately ran to Söderström, who was stuck and barely had time to get out of the car to avoid getting hit in the face. Here's what the fastest pit stop in the world looks like. And this is what the longest pit stop in the world from McLaren looks like. McLaren dropped the car during a pit stop. This driver clearly had a falling out with his motorcycle before the race because it threw him off, did a sideways flip, and drove to the finish line on its own. The Monaco Grand Prix safety crews must have turned gray in the hair when they dropped a historic F1 car from a crane in the middle of the race. The marshals barely had time to raise the red flag to stop the other cars. This is a McLaren M23 worth more than $2.5 million. Could you be a little more careful? For Andreas Mikkelsen, the 2017 World Rally Championship started with the sudden opening of his car's hood. But he decided to continue the race blind because he had already lost 26 seconds. Mikkelsen drove the whole track like that and even managed to do the most savage drift I've ever seen. Michael Schumacher was leading in the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix until David Coulthard braked right in front of him. Schumacher's front wheel fell off in the collision, but he didn't stop racing. Instead, he drove into the boxes without slowing down on the remaining 3 wheels. I think he was powering that car with pure anger. Immediately after stopping, he burst into Coulthard's garage and attacked David, accusing him of an attempt on his life. They could barely be split up. This tow truck driver had one job, and he failed. An F1 car slipped off a forklift while being transported and hit the protective wall. The car had more damage from this collision than from a crash during a race. Here's the lesson of the day. Fix your helmet before you start going 322 kilometers per hour. Look at how he throws his hands up and blames the other guy immediately. Lewis Hamilton felt like Schumacher for a moment when his tire burst on the final lap at Silverstone. But he continued to drive to the finish line and didn't even notice that he had won on virtually 3 wheels. I'm starting to think that racers don't need 4 wheels at all.
Lewis Hamilton, who takes the race, Max Verstappen.
William Alatalo was just driving into the pits when Aaron Di Camberti suddenly realized that he really missed him. Camberti drove right on his roof, and they continued for several meters that way until Alatalo braked. If you also like to jump on your friend's back when you see them, write in the comments. You've never seen a Guinness record like this before. Eric Almirola clocked up to 225 kilometers per hour, and then the Pro Bowler hit a strike right on the racetrack. I'm not joking either, because during the 1999 24 Hours of Le Mans, a Mercedes-Benz CLR flew in at 300 kilometers per hour.
The Mercedes has taken off.
After 4 backflips, Peter Dumbreck's Mercedes landed in the trees. David Hauser may have finished 3rd in the European Hill Climb Championship, but he didn't leave alone. He just so happened to notice this beautiful woman by the road and offered to give her a ride, and it worked. So it's true that everyone with a nice car could easily get a girl, right?
Alright.
Brett Cadina's turbo drag bike was so powerful that it took flight right off the starting line. These 2 Minardi Fords were already near the finish line when Pierluigi Martini decided to take out his opponent like in Mario Kart. Fittipaldi's car flew into the air, did a near perfect backflip, and kept driving on 3 wheels to the finish line. Watch as Marcus Palmer spins his Audi R8 a full 360 degrees.
Oh, and as he does that, he blows it! Slides out, and wow!
Maybe his rear view mirror is broken. This is how he solved the problem. And this guy has clearly played too much Red Dead Redemption 2. JD Beach's body was flying over the bike, so he simply side-saddled his Yamaha and got back in the race. This marshal grabbed the crane hook to pick up a car, but the crane picked him up instead. The Armor All Bathurst 12-hour race had to be stopped because a tree had fallen on the road. This driver had to wait until the tree was removed, and everyone else had to get in line. What's next? Stopping the race for a random old lady crossing the road? During the 2018 Dakar, Alejandro Jacopini's Toyota realized that she just couldn't do it anymore. Just leave me here. I give up.
This is the end.
This guy got on the racetrack, and now he's regretting it, because there's a driver coming right at him at breakneck speed. The guy got lucky and escaped with only a broken side mirror. It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's a 996 Porsche GT1 that flew in and did a backflip during the Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta. Turns out we had flying cars back in 1998. Want to know what millions of dollars of damage looks like?
Oh, no! Oh!
Daniel Hunkadea crashed into a wall during the Macau Grand Prix, and Lawrence Vantor couldn't get around his Mercedes. And then another 14 cars crashed into him. Imagine the audience forking out thousands of bucks to come see this race, and they get this on the very first lap.
Audience, say it with me. Legendary.
Who needs a steering wheel anyway? Thought Dale Earnhardt Jr. as he steered his car with his hand when his steering wheel fell off at a speed of 183 kilometers per hour. Picture Hamilton meeting Buemi in a bar and saying, "I can drive with 3 wheels," and Buemi responding, "Hold my 2 front wheels." Both wheels flew off Sebastian Buemi's Toro Rosso when he was practicing for the Chinese Grand Prix. The graphics in these games are getting really close to reality. But wait, it's 2 real $300,000 Porsches parked on top of each other during the Porsche Carrera Cup in France. During the 2017 Monte Carlo Rally, Serhian Pernia's car got stuck in a ditch. And while random people are trying to get Pernia's car back on the road, he's just trying to stay on his feet. Maybe it's just not his day. And that's all. If you want more weird motorsport moments on our channel, write in the comments #IWantMore, and we'll definitely make another video for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.